Hello and welcome 12th Commerce students. Today in this business studies class, I will continue with the planning chapter of your first unit test syllabus. In this chapter today, the topic of discussion is limitations of planning or the drawbacks of planning. As you can see, I have written in the board, the limitations of planning is our topic today. Now, beside having the different advantages, planning has certain shortcomings or certain drawbacks. Those major limitations I will discuss one by one point wise. So first limitation of planning is problem in accuracy. Problem in accuracy. This is the first shortcoming of planning. Accuracy in planning is dependent on fact, figures, or available data from the survey, available information. So all these are based on the fact and figures of the past analysis. So if information is reliable and data is dependable, then no problem is there. But if there is a question in the dependability of the data, or if there is any question in the reliability, then planning will lose much of its value, and the future cannot be forecasted accurately. So availability of information, if not authentic, then it can create problem in the accuracy of planning. So problems in accuracy is the first limitation. Moving to the next limitation is time consuming process. Planning is a time consuming as well as expensive process. Now, planning is said to be time consuming and expensive process. Planning costs in terms of money, time, effort, and other resources. And the guarantee, there is a little guarantee of getting benefit after consumption of so much of time and bearing so much of expenses. It is really questionable how far the planning will work. So it is at a great cost of it is at a great risk whether planning will be successful or not, because it has cost not only in terms of money but in terms of efforts and time also. So planning, a little guarantee is there whether benefits can be acquired from the planning in future, because everything is full uncertain in case of planning. So this is the second limitation. Moving to the third limitation is false sense of security. False sense of security. Why false sense of security? Because planning creates a false sense of security among the managers. They believe that as long as everything goes on according to plan, there is no need to worry. As a result, managers are more concerned about the fulfillment of specific plans rather than the improving their performance. They know that if proper plan is there, everything will result fine, but they don't put much effort on the authenticity of the plan or on the rationality of the plan. They rather target on the specific fulfillment of the objectives, rather how far planning is based on the correct figures. Upon this fact, they rely much less. They depend much less. They doesn't put much effort to these. So there is a false sense of security working among the managers. So this is the third. Rigidity and inflexibility is the fourth point. Rigidity and inflexibility. Planning is somehow rigid in nature. Planning directs the management some predetermined course of action. This may lead to internal inflexibility. This restricts the employees in terms of their freedom, working freedom, in terms of their initiative. They cannot work according to the changing environment. Adaptability is less. So it is much more rigid. It is much more, it is not so much dynamic in nature. Planning tends to become rigid day by day. So rapid if there is any change also, it cannot adapt. The managers cannot adapt easily. So desire for creativity of the executive is much less, as they have to follow a path which is laid as a track, and they have to walk on that set track. They cannot go for some creative things. So that's why planning is called rigid. Moving to the next point, that is rapidity of change. Rapidity of change. What does that means? Now, the scope of planning is limited in case of organization with rapid changing situations. Planning under conditions of rapid changes in the external environment tends to be a difficult task. Industries experiences rapid changes. If industries experiences rapid changes, thus there is no need of dynamism on the part of the manager with regard to formulation of plans. So, here is another great limitation if there is any rapidity of change in the industry. External constraint. External constraint. What is the meaning of this external constraint? As managers has a very little or no control in all the variables, they face certain external constraints, means certain external obstacles. For example, the different government policies or the different economic policies regarding taxation, import and export, etc., regarding various matters. Then technological changes and competitions are also there that may act as a hindrance in the planning process. As a result, managers are not free to take decisions in these areas. The effectiveness of planning is reduced because of the influence of these type of external constraints presence in the business. Now we come to the next, that is discouraging new approach. Discouraging new approach. Discouraging new approach. While planning tends to impose internal inflexibility, generally managers are accustomed to a particular philosophy, I have told you that they try to follow a same track laid. They don't go for a different philosophy, they don't work for a different philosophy, or they continue to make over the same philosophy or the same approach work over a period of time, and then the managers become hesitant to adopt new approach. Moreover, initiative of managers to develop new approaches is discouraged due to the inflexibility in the operation. Now, these all are the limitations of planning. These points you have to cover up. These are the must point that you have to cover up while writing the drawbacks or the shortcomings of limitations or limitations of planning. Apart from these points, if you wish to add any other points, always welcome, but these points must be present. I'll provide a PDF with the videos, so watch the videos carefully and take the notes from the PDF if given. Till then, goodbye.